Today we're going to explore the idea of factoring and writing things in factored form. And this might be a review for some of you. Others, it might seem like it's brand new. But we're going to use kind of a puzzle that we can refer to as an X puzzle or a sum and product puzzle. But basically, we are going to use this to help us factor. So in this Explore activity and on your worksheet, you'll see some instructions. It says, in each diagram below, write the two numbers on the sides of the x that are multiplied together to get the top number of the x, but added together to get the bottom number of the x. So we're going to start exploring this just by starting to pick some numbers on the side and see how this puzzle works. So I'm just going to pick any two numbers I want. In this case, I'm going to start with 1 and 3, and I'm going to write these in the side spots of our first x. Now, the way the puzzle works, we're going to multiply those two numbers, 1 times 3, to get our number up top. We're going to add those two numbers, 1 plus 3, to get our number on bottom. So let's try this again in the second x with a different pair of numbers. I'm going to pick two at random. Let's say 2 and 6. Going to multiply these together to get up top. So 2 and 6 is 12. I'm going to add them together to get to the bottom. So that's 8. And finally, let's try one with a negative number on this one as well. So let's go -4 and 5 for our last one. So if I multiply those together, I'm going to get a -20. And if I add those together, I'm going to get 5 minus 4, leaves me with 1. So that's how this puzzle works, is we have two numbers on the side, they multiply together to go up top, and they add together to go down the bottom. Now, let's try it in reverse with these three puzzles here. Okay, we're given the top and bottom numbers, and we need to find those side numbers. So, I always like to start thinking of what's up top, all right? And we have a 4 up top here that we're trying to hit. All right, so what are the combinations that can multiply together to give us 4? We have 1 and 4. We have 2 and 2. And do either of these pairs add up to give us 4? And in this case, yeah, the 2 and 2 add up to give us 4. Let's look at our next X puzzle. Okay, we need to multiply together to get 7 and add together to get 8. Well, the only combination that multiplies together to get 7 is 1 and 7. And let's check. Do these add up to get 8? 1 plus 7 is 8. Yeah. And finally, this last one, multiplying together to get 12. Okay, so our different combinations are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Okay, and we got to look, do any of these combinations add together to get 7? Yeah, 3 and 4 add together to get 7. Now, we are going to use this puzzle and this thought process to start finding the factored form of polynomials. So when we find the factored form, when we're given the standard form shown up here, okay, x squared plus bx plus c, we can then place it in our puzzle to help us find a pair of numbers that multiply to get c, that's what goes up top in our x, and add or subtract to get b. Let's see this play out a little bit. So I've created some boxes in our note sheet and lined them up with the different X puzzles that you guys just solved. So we have in our first puzzle, it corresponds to x squared plus 4x plus 4. And you'll see that we can set up our X puzzle below so that we're multiplying to get that last number, c. Okay, notice how this corresponds to our c up top. And we're adding and subtracting to get this second number, 4. And notice where these two numbers both show up in our puzzle. Okay, you might recall that, and you should have on your notes, that the answer to this was 2 and 2. Okay, and we're going to take that and we're going to write what's called the factored form of this polynomial. All right, and this is something we'll dive into a little more in the future, but the factored form is simply going to look like a product of two different binomials. And it's going to look like x plus 2 times x plus 2. Okay, and we got those 2's from the sides of our x puzzles. So let's continue that thought process for that second example we looked at. All right, we had 7 and 8. So we multiply together to get that last number. That's what, oops. I can see now that I made a mistake here on our note sheet. So let's cross out this standard form. All right, and this should be x squared plus 8x plus 7. Sorry about that. All right, so you can see that our puzzle placed 7 up top. That's what we're multiplying to get. And it also placed 8 on the bottom. That's what we're adding or subtracting to get. And from our work on the previous slides, we found that 7 and 1 were our answers there. So we're going to simply write in factored form here, x plus 7 times x plus 1. And in our final example, it looks like I made the same mistake. I'm really sorry about this. We should have x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay? And we can add or subtract to get the 7. Sorry, that should be an orange. That goes at the bottom of our puzzle. And we can multiply or divide to get 12. And that goes at the top of our puzzle. And if we recall from our previous examples, okay, we were able to use 4 and 3 here. So it's multiply to get 12. They add up to get 7. So our factored form is going to be x plus 4 times x plus 3.